Alright, this is Video Log 3, Part 3 of Sergeant Charles Dyer's Video Logs. And this whole section here will be for one individual. This man works for the FBI, and his name is Agent Gene Poole. Okay, here's what I'll start off with. I'll start off with the first time I ever met this man. After I got arrested for I think initially it was incest. I got pulled into an office with Agent Gene Poole, and he informed me that they found an M203 grenade launcher in my home. Now, I told him, obviously, no, you did not find an M203 in my home. And, of course, he said he did, whatever. He started questioning me about it. I told him, I'm not going to talk to you, because he was frankly an asshole. But I said, I'm not going to talk to you. I think I'll speak to an attorney. And he looks at me and he says, if you ask for an attorney one more time, I'm going to stop this interview and I'm going to arrest your girlfriend for 5 years for every weapon that's in your home, whether it's legal or not. That's like, what, 25 years, right? And we're going to take her away from her child, and her child's never going to see her again. And it'll be because you didn't cooperate with this. Okay. Well, I, of course, protested against him and said, well, guess what? I know that my fiancée is not a convicted felon. I know that for a fact. And he says, no, actually she is. She was arrested for cocaine, and I don't remember what year that was, but he did mention it, and it was before I ever met her, and she told me about that. Now the details around that was that it was her boyfriend's. She was arrested on it, and then she had to do, I believe, a probationary time, but there was nothing that ever came out of it. She left the boyfriend immediately after that and never had anything to do with him again. He is also actually the father of her child, and he's currently in prison. So anyway, but they called my punk card on it and said that she was a felon, and I got very nervous about it. So I said, okay, you know what? I didn't do nothing illegal. Let's talk. What do you want to know? And so that was the beginning of our wonderful relationship. Him threatening me. Now, after this, he went to my mother's house, and this was days after. This wasn't that same night. This is days after. My mother is 68 years old, I believe. He looks at her and says, if you don't cooperate with us, Mr. Dyer, we'll make enough charges to put your son away for 40 years. Now think about this statement. Make enough charges to put your son away for 40 years. Now I'm being charged with failure to register a destructive device. Maximum sentence is 10 years. So how is he going to quote-unquote make enough charges to put me away for 40 years? Unless that's what he does, make stuff up. He took my mask and my speech whenever I was arrested. What either of those have to do with rape or having a grenade launcher, I'm not sure. But they did do it. They took my mask and a speech that I was working on. They made a C4 dog hit on my storage unit in town so that they could open it up and look at it without a warrant. What did they find inside? That's right, nothing at all, except for some old flight helmets of my grandfather's, his Capitol police badge, some things like that they ended up taking and giving back. He lied at my federal trial. Now, the whole reason that I had the federal charges come up on placed on me was because he signed the indictment saying that I admitted that I had a 40mm grenade launcher. Now, when we got him on the stand, now this is what the indictment said, that I admitted to it. When we got him on the stand, he was asked 3 separate times in different ways, and that is a jackass. Okay, I'm back. I have to leave that in there. I'm not going to edit that out because it was so critically perfect. And you're right, Mr. Donkey. Agent Poole did make a jackass out of himself right on the stand in front of a federal jury. So he was asked 3 separate times by my attorney in different ways, did Mr. Dyer ever tell you that this was a 40mm? And he knew that it was a 40mm. No, he did not. He expressed each individual time that he thought that it was a 37mm. Now, after there were no more questions, the U.S. Attorney, Andre, mess his name up all the time, Caldwell, gets up there and you can tell the frustration on his face, and he is sitting here with a piece of paper. And he says, Agent Poole, I'm going to give you a piece of paper, and it's a report that you made, and see if this maybe jogs your memory. So he goes over and he approaches Agent Poole and he gives him this piece of paper, and here is Agent Poole's exact reaction. Don't believe me, go get the transcript. It's at the Oklahoma City 10th District Court. Alright? And if you want my case number, I will give it to you and you can get the transcript yourself. Agent Poole looks at it and says, oh, that's right. He did tell me that he thought it was a 40mm. Right. Nobody buys it, Poole. The jury didn't buy it. Nobody bought it. It was too late at that point. Once again, Mr. Donkey was right. What's the next thing that we're going to here? Light at the federal trial. Oh yes, let's go to the state preliminary. Alright, at preliminary, they called him to testify about the grenade launcher again. Now, all through the federal trial, over and over they stated these certain facts. The grenade launcher was taken in 2006 from Fort Irwin, which is an Army base. The grenade launcher found it into the hands of a man in California who, through, I'm not exactly how he got it or what his affiliation with different groups were. It's possible that he was a weapons dealer or something. I don't know exactly everything. However, it was given to me by this individual. So, at the state preliminary hearing, this same FBI agent gets up there and he tells the judge that this grenade launcher came from Camp Pendleton, which is the base that I was at. This grenade launcher was never at Camp Pendleton. You can check the NCIC. I don't know if you can get a report of that or not. I'm sure I probably could if you didn't believe it. Anyway, it came from Camp Irwin, not Camp Pendleton, but he said it came from Camp Pendleton and that I had acquired it from a wall locker on Camp Pendleton. For those of you that are military out there, you know what a wall locker is. It's the personal space, basically a closet for military personnel in barracks. So there was just this grenade launcher just laying around in a wall locker that I picked up in Camp Pendleton. Wow. Not a far-fetched, right? Kind of, yeah. But anyway, the judge buys it. It allows the state to try to prosecute me on this. And I think that'll pretty much cover Mr. Poole. There's other things I won't get into right now. Other people that I won't get into right now. Certain things that affect my case that's going on at the moment, which, I would love to present, and I will very soon. Especially after we catch some more individuals lying on the stand, which they already have repeatedly. I want so bad to read transcripts to you, but I will in the next videos. Thank you for listening.